Alright, we're going to continue with Docker. We got Docker going, we have Portainer going, so let's go ahead and get Portainer open back up for the next thing we're about to do here. Alright, and get our Portainer shortcut, accept the risk of our self-signed cert, and we set this to admin, and super secret password 1234, and we're going to log in. Alright, choose our environment, and we're going to go to containers. Alright, now to add a new container, we're going to do add container. I want to open a new tab here, and we're going to do Gitea. Gitea is basically your own personal GitHub or GitLab or insert Git here. So, what's our pool? It's Gitea. So let's go back to Portainer. Let's name our container Gitea, and we'll use Gitea /Gitea. Remember, we need a tag, and I'm, again, for demonstration, going to use latest. Alright, now we need to figure out what our ports are. So let's go to installation. Go ahead and close that. We're going to go with install to Docker. And here we go. So our ports will be 3000 for host, 3000 for container. So let's map a port. So 3000 and 3000. I know we needed one more port, so we're going to have 222 for host and 22 for our container. And then 22. Okay. What do we need next? Okay, we need the user ID and the user group ID. So our UID and our GID. So we'll go back to here, and we'll scroll down to environments. Now we're at one environment and two environment. We needed user ID and user group ID. Pretty sure that's what we needed. And we need a U for our user ID. There we go. So user UID, user GID, yes. Both set to 1000. So 1000, 1000. Alright, we have both of those set. And we'll need our volume. We're going to skip time zone and local time. We need to make a folder for our container. The container sees in /data. So we'll go to volumes. We'll map an additional volume. We'll bind it. What the container sees was /data. But now we need to go make our Gitea folder. So we're going to create folder, Gitea, and then inside there we'll make another folder. We will call this data. Then we will copy our path from data and set that as our host path for our persistent data. Okay. Now our restart policy will be always. Now for me, since this is a demonstration, I'm going to set it back to never. But always, as in the last one, will say you reboot your computer, you have to restart Docker. It'll automatically restart Gitea, just like it'll automatically restart Portainer for you. So I'm going to go ahead and do restart never. And we are going to deploy our container. Why? Oh, I had a typo. Why did you folks not tell me? So Gitea. Now let's deploy our container. So if this takes a minute, do accept my silence. Oh, never mind. We're on a roll with things installing quickly right now. So if we scroll over, same as last time, our image, create date, local, our ports, and ownership. Now if we go to images, you'll see we also pulled Gitea and the creation date. So what we'll do now is go to http://local host 3000, hit enter. We're going to stick with SQLite. This will be Gitea YouTube example if I can type. There we go. Alright, everything else should be good to go. Let's install. And it should take us to our first user account. There we go. We're going to register. Will be example. And again, our super secret password of password 1234. Oh, we put in our email. Uh-oh, gave our password out. Password 1234. Password 1234. And with this being an example at example.com. Now we'll register our account. Now that we have our account, you can see we can make a repository, migrate, start an organization. But let's do new repository. Repository name. There we go. We have some leftovers from last time. We'll call this one example underscore project instead of example. And this is a test project. Go ahead and do that. Let's add a get ignore. We'll add one for Python. And we'll have a default readme. We'll initialize it. You can change your branch and all that. Let's create a repository. Just like that, you have a repository. You have HTTP and SSH. So in this, you can basically do the same as any Git repository. GitHub, GitLab, now Gitea. Pull, rebase, merge, everything you can usually do. But for now, let's log our person out. This will be the default page when you come into it, asking you to log in or register. Let's go ahead and close that. We can close Portainer down too. Well, not closing it. But here is our new Gitea data and our persistent data. This is where all your repositories and users will be stored for. Now, if we go back to downloads, you can see we still have our Portainer data. And that is why Portainer is able to come back up like it does. Again, I'll show you. Go to here. If you have a shortcut saved, you can go to here, click your shortcut, advanced, accept the cert, put in our username and our super secret password, and we click our environment, and there we go. We now have Portainer and Gitea all running in Docker. So, with that being said, hopefully this was useful, and maybe next time we'll look into installing something a little more difficult. But, as always, hope you learned something maybe, learned from my errors, and have a good one.